press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Yeah, hello dear students. Now let me continue again systems of particles, rotational motion, part 14 lecture. See, almost in the last two lectures we covered very basic things like a torque, and we know how to identify the direction of the torque, and we covered angular momentum, and we know a relation between torque and angular momentum, and we know angular momentum is mvr, torque is r cross f, relation between them is dl by dt is equals to torque. So the torque also defined as rate of change of angular momentum, and I will tell you some formula for systems of particles also. Okay, you follow only regular derivation like L is equals to R cross P and apply differentiation on both sides. You will get tau is equals to dl by dt. Now see the next concept from NCERT. Okay, next I will continue some good level of questions. So let me continue topic from NCERT again. So write down topic name: equilibrium of a rigid body. Equilibrium of a rigid body. Okay. Anyhow, we know the meaning of rigid body. Now let us see the equilibrium of a rigid body. Okay. Generally, we know rigid body have translational motion, and rigid body have rotational motion, and of course it has a rolling motion also. Here rigid body is said to be translational equilibrium. Okay, rigid body generally have mechanical equilibrium. A rigid body have mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium nothing but it is the combination of translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. Okay, so here rigid body have two types of equilibrium. One is translational equilibrium, other one is rotational equilibrium. Okay, rigid body have translational equilibrium and another one is rotational equilibrium. Now let us see what is translational equilibrium. Okay, see the first one is translational equilibrium. Okay, generally rigid body is said to be mechanical equilibrium if it has a translational equilibrium and a rotational equilibrium. Then it is said to be in a mechanical equilibrium. Okay. Now let us see what is translational equilibrium. So rigid body have translational equilibrium if net external force acting on the body is zero. If there is no external force acting on the rigid body, then the rigid body is said to be in translational equilibrium. So if external force acting on the rigid body is zero, then the rigid body is said to be in pure translational equilibrium. If net external force acting on the rigid body is zero, then the rigid body is said to be in pure translational equilibrium. This can be written as dP bar by dt. From Newton's second law, we can write external force nothing but rate of change of linear momentum. So dP by dt is equal to 0 means dP is equal to 0, and we can write P is equals to constant. So this is the condition for translational equilibrium of a rigid body. So rigid body is said to be in translational equilibrium if net external force acting on the rigid body is zero. In the same way, rigid body is said to be in a rotational equilibrium. Rotational. So rotational equilibrium. it is said to be in rotational equilibrium if net external torque acting on the rigid body is 0. So, in the absence of external torque, the rigid body is said to be in rotational equilibrium. So, if tau external 0, if external torque acting on the rigid body is 0, then the rigid body said to be in pure rotational equilibrium. Tau external we can write it as dL bar by dt is equal to 0. Now L bar is equals to constant. So these are the conditions for translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. Tell me when it is said to be in rotational equilibrium. If net external torque acting on the rigid body is 0, then that body is said to be in rotational equilibrium. So generally rigid body have mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium means it is the combination of translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. Here it is said to be in translational equilibrium if net external force acting on the rigid body is 0. Here it is said to be in rotational equilibrium if external torque acting on the rigid body is 0. So these are the conditions for equilibriums. Okay, and sometimes it may be partial equilibrium. Okay, translational and rotational, or sometimes rotational equilibrium without translational, and rotational with translational. Okay, that we will see some conditions. Take these two first basic things. Let me give some examples. Yeah, completed. See, these are the conditions for translational and rotational equilibrium. Now let me give one example for equilibrium of a rigid body. See, consider a rod. Just you see one example here. See, this is a rod pivoted at center something O, fixed at center O. Okay, rod whose length is L, pivoted at center O. And see, I am applying one force in this direction and one more force in this direction. I applied two forces, one is up, other one is down. Okay, and the total length of the rod, let us take L, and from here to here is L by 2. From this to this point also L by 2. Now let us see whether this rod is in translational equilibrium or rotational equilibrium. Let us check it whether this rod is in translational equilibrium or rotational equilibrium. Now let us find the total forces acting on the rod. See the total forces acting on the rod. Net force acting on the rod, which is equivalent to one is up, other one is down. One is up, other one is down. So what is the net force? Net force acting on the rod is 0. Net force acting on the rod is 0 means what is the condition? If external force or net force acting on the rigid body is 0, then that body is said to be pure translational equilibrium. Now the body is said to be pure translational equilibrium. Let us check whether it is in rotational equilibrium or not. See, to get the rotational equilibrium, this force will create some torque about this point O. This force creates torque about O. Earlier we covered the torque. Tell me what type of torque it will create. See, this force will create an anti-clockwise torque, something tau 1. This will create anti-clockwise torque. Anti-clockwise, see, torque direction R, F. So, towards U means what? Anti-clockwise. Here also R, F, towards U, anti-clockwise. So, this is something tau 2. What is the net torque? Net torque, we can write tau 1 plus tau 2. Why tau 1 plus tau 2? This is tau 1, tau 2. This is anti-clockwise direction about O. This is also anti-clockwise direction. Both are anti-clockwise directions. So, you can add it. Net torque, sum of two numbers is equal to 0. Impossible. If it is a minus, then maybe result may be 0. Here this sum cannot be 0. That means what? What is this example actually now? So, this is the example for a rod which is in translational equilibrium but not in rotational equilibrium. So, this is the example for a rod. Here the given rod is in pure translational equilibrium, without rotational equilibrium. Okay, translational equilibrium, but not in pure, but not in rotational equilibrium. So, this is the example for what? Rod which is in pure translational equilibrium but not in rotational equilibrium. Okay, and see, let me give one more example. Let us suppose the same rod is pivoted here at center O, whose length is L, and I am applying one force in downward direction, one more force also in downward direction. Okay, first you see, then you write. Now, what is the net force here? Net force, these two forces are acting downwards. So, the net force is sum of the two forces. This sum of the two forces not equivalent to 0. Sum of any two, it cannot gives the 0 result. So, F plus F does not equivalent to 0. Okay. Now, let us find the torque. This will create a torque in anti-clockwise direction about O. Recall the torque R, F, anti-clockwise direction, and here R, F. What is this direction? Tell me. Check it. If this is something tau 1, this is a tau 2, tau 1, tau 2. What is the direction of the tau 1 and direction of tau 2? Tell me. This is anti-clockwise direction and this is clockwise direction. One is anti-clockwise, other one is clockwise direction. What is the net torque? Net torque is, one is anti-clockwise, tau 1 is anti-clockwise is positive, tau 2 is clockwise, negative. And see, what is tau 1? Force into distance. Force into distance means how much force and how much distance? F into L by 2. And this is also F into L by 2. Then what is the result? 0. That means what? This rod is said to be in pure translational or pure rotational. Yes, it simple things these are. Next some questions will come. Tell me. Here the rod is in pure rotational equilibrium but not in translational equilibrium. See, I given two examples. First one is the rod is in pure translational equilibrium but not in rotational equilibrium. Second one is rod is in pure rotational equilibrium. Why? Because net external torque acting on the rod is 0. So the rod is said to be pure rotational equilibrium but not in translational equilibrium. Okay, and observe here. Okay, first we take this. Yeah, completed. Okay, now we know the rigid body is in mechanical equilibrium. If it is in mechanical equilibrium, then it has translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. Now tell me, when the body is said to be in translational equilibrium? If net external force acting on the body is 0, then it is said to be in translational equilibrium. And if net external torque acting on the rigid body is 0, then it is said to be in rotational equilibrium. And observe here, on this body, two equal and unlike forces are acting, and lines of action, see, they are acting from the same line. Due to this, the body is set into some rotation. For example, if you want to open a cap of some pen or any pen cap, okay, if you want to rotate this pen, just we are applying our fingers, or if you want to rotate the tap, okay, water tap, you are applying your two fingers on the tap in different directions, like this only. You feel this is a tap. See, on tap, if you want to rotate the tap, we are applying our fingers on a tap in two different directions with equal force. Okay, we are applying like this. Okay, if you want to open the cap of any bottle or anything, we will apply a force like this. And these two equal and unlike forces, acting on the same line in opposite direction, call it as couple of forces. So what are these forces? Couple of forces. Couple nothing but two equal unlike forces acting on the body in different direction, whose lines of actions are same. Okay, so here two equal and unlike forces acting on a body in different directions are called as couple, and couple produces pure rotation without translation. Couple produces pure rotation without translation. Couple nothing but the combination of forces. Okay, we can write torque of a couple, all the things. So couple nothing but two equal unlike forces acting on a rigid body. Okay, whose lines of actions are same. Okay. Now let us see. See, couple produces what? Rotation without translation. Now let me continue one more related to equilibrium of a rigid body. That is, let us see, there is a lever arm. This is the fulcrum. See, this is the rod pivoted on a fulcrum. This is the fulcrum. Just you feel like a seesaw in a children's park. Okay, one boy will sit here, one more boy will sit here, they will do like this. So this is the rod, an ideal lever. So this is an ideal lever okay, which is fixed at here, and see this is the fulcrum. Okay, now here if any boy is sitting like this, let us suppose he is applying some force, let us consider F1, and here one more boy is sitting, he is applying one more force F2. Let us suppose from the fulcrum it is at a distance of D1 and this is at a distance of D2. Okay, from the fulcrum, let us fulcrum will apply some reaction force like this. See, there will be a reaction force in between two. I think you know normal reaction force. What is the normal reaction force? It is the force which always acts from the contact surface, normal to the contact surface, normal to the contact surface. Okay, if I am standing, some force is acting upwards, that is nothing but normal reaction force. I am exerting a force on a floor, that is action force, okay, that you learned in previous classes. Now R is the reaction force, and see this ideal lever is in a mechanical equilibrium. So this is an ideal lever, it is in mechanical equilibrium. So ideal lever is in mechanical equilibrium means mechanical equilibrium nothing but it is the combination of translational equilibrium and also rotational equilibrium. So as the lever to be translational equilibrium, for translational equilibrium, so just you balance the forces. Net force must be 0. One force is acting upwards, two more forces are acting downwards. So upward force minus downward force, sum of all the forces is 0. That means what is the net force here? The reaction force which is balanced by F1 plus F2. So this is the condition for an ideal lever to be in translational equilibrium. Okay, this is the condition for an ideal lever that must be in translational equilibrium. Okay, I am going to use these conditions to solve problems in the next sessions. Okay, so this is the translational equilibrium. For rotational equilibrium, here say this will create some torque in this direction, tau 1, net torque must be 0. This will create a torque in this direction, tau 2 about this fulcrum O, taking net torque as 0. For rotational equilibrium, net torque must be 0. What is the net torque about O is 0? See, net torque nothing but, see, this force will create a torque about O. Okay, this force will create a torque about O. How much this one net torque is? This is anti-clockwise torque, and what is this? And this is anti-clockwise torque and this is clockwise torque. So tau 1 minus tau 2 is equal to 0. For translational equilibrium, net force is 0. For rotational equilibrium, net torque is 0. So tau 1 minus tau 2, 0. That means tau 1 is equals to tau 2. What is tau 1? See the diagram, F1 D1. F1 D1 is tau 1. What is tau 2? Tau 2, F2 D2. F2 D2. Force into distance, force into distance. Here force into distance we can call it as anti-clockwise torque. Anti-clockwise torque, otherwise we can call it as a moment of force. And this is clockwise torque, otherwise clockwise moment of force. Now I got one equation, anti-clockwise moment of force which is equal to clockwise moment of force. See, torque also called as moment of force. Okay, up to now I used the word torque, that also called as moment of force. Now finally I got anti-clockwise force which is equivalent to clockwise moment of force. And this principle we can call it as principle of moments. This is called as principle of moments. Okay, so what is the heading for this? Principle of moments. Principle of moments. So according to principle of moments, anti-clockwise torque which is equivalent to clockwise torque. Otherwise, anti-clockwise moment of force is equivalent to clockwise moment of force. Okay, so this moment of force which is equivalent to this moment of force. So here anyhow, this is an ideal lever which is in mechanical equilibrium. Okay, this is an ideal lever like a seesaw in a children's park. Okay, one boy will sit here, one more boy will sit here. Okay, if a boy applies small force, it will move up. This boy will move up because this distance is very less. Okay, this distance is less. A small effort, if the boy applies here, this person may move up because this fulcrum is very closer to him. Okay, if he applies small effort, then this person will move up. Okay, here F1 by F2. So we can write from this equation. We can write F1 by F2. We can write D2 by D1. Now F1 is greater than F2. Because of less distance, F1 is greater than F2. Because F is inversely proportional to distance and distance is less, F is more. F1, D1, F2, D2, F inversely proportional to D. And here F1 is greater than F2. Why? Because D1 is less. Since D1 is less than D2. Here, this F1 by F2, we can call it as mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage. Nothing but a small effort is enough to lift the heavy loads. Mechanical advantage, nothing but a small effort is enough to lift the heavy loads. Okay, generally we use hydraulic lift, some other things, but here a small force is enough, small effort is enough to lift other person. That is nothing but mechanical advantage. So what is the equation for mechanical advantage? F1 by F2 is equals to D2 by D1. Keep in mind. And see, this is the principle of moment. And ideal lever must be in mechanical equilibrium, nothing but it has translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. So write the condition for translational equilibrium, you will get one equation. And write the condition for rotational equilibrium, you will get another equation. Okay, same process you follow for problems. Okay, if they given mechanical equilibrium, you can take the two equations, one translational equilibrium, another one rotational equilibrium. Solve the two equations, you will get the result. Okay, I will give you some questions. Okay, take this. Completed? Yeah, let me give some problems based on this equilibrium and torque. Okay, let me write the question. So you also write along with me. So write down the question. Determine the point of application of third force. The point of application of third force for which body is in equilibrium. Body is in equilibrium when forces of 20 Newton, okay, I am giving some data from the book, 20 Newton, 30 Newton are acting on the rod as shown. As shown. Okay, let me draw the diagram. This they given A, B at 10 centimeter, (20 Newton). This is C. (30 Newton). Yeah. Read the question twice. I am going to use the previous concept to solve this problem. Okay, same type of questions are there in NCERT. Use this knowledge and try to solve the NCERT problems. Okay. So, if possible, I will cover some one or two. Read the question twice. Determine the point of application of third force for which the body is in equilibrium. Nothing is mentioned means the body is in mechanical equilibrium. So, the body is in equilibrium when forces of 20 Newton, 30 Newton are acting on the rod as shown in figure. See the given this diagram. Draw the diagram. 20 Newton is acting from 10 centimeter from NDA and 30 is acting from 30 centimeter. Now, at what place you have to apply a third force so that net force is 0, net torque is 0. Because the rod is in mechanical equilibrium. Condition for mechanical equilibrium means it has translational equilibrium and it has rotational equilibrium. Two conditions. So, you have to take two equations and solve the two equations. We will get the resultant answer. Let us see what is the answer and what is the question first. So, what is the target? We have to find point of application of third force. Means at what place you have to apply the third force so that this rod is in mechanical equilibrium. Okay, generally we can expect above 20, below 30. If you apply 10 up, it is in translational equilibrium. Okay, but where you have to apply? At what place you have to apply so that it is said to be in mechanical equilibrium. Okay, we can expect by applying 10 Newton upwards, then the rod is said to be mechanical equilibrium. Condition answer completed. But at what place you have to apply? From NDA, from NDB if they ask. Okay, if they are not asking at what distance, then answer is clear. Directly we can expect the answer. What is the answer? 10 Newton acts upwards, then this rod is said to be mechanical equilibrium. Answer completed. In the option if they given at what distance from A you are applying the 10 Newton, at what distance from B, at what distance from this C, if they ask like that, you have to use two conditions. Let us see. So, let F is the force applied at any point. Okay, F is the force. Okay, so let me apply a force like this at a distance of x from this C. So, let F is the third force applied at a distance of x from C, from this C. Now for the rod to be translational equilibrium, use two conditions. To solve this type of questions, use two conditions: translational equilibrium, rotational equilibrium. Okay. So for translational equilibrium, net force is 0. Net force 0. What is the net force? Above is 20 plus F minus 30 is equal to 0. Then F minus 10, 0, F is equals to 10 Newton. So we got the third force. We got anyhow positive because we are taken up. If you are taken down, you will get negative. Negative means indirectly you are taking opposite. Okay, negative meaning is very clear in physics. It is opposite. Right now I got positive means our direction is correct. Our expectation is correct. So I have to apply 10 Newton so that this rod is in only what? Translational equilibrium. If I apply 10 Newton upwards, then the rod is said to be in only translational equilibrium. If you apply at a certain distance properly, then it is said to be in rotational equilibrium. Let us see at what distance you have to apply. From that C, from that A, everything. Let me find that X. Okay, so that we can decide the rod is in rotational equilibrium. First listen, then you write down. Yeah, see. For rotational equilibrium, just I am taking torque about C is equal to 0. I am taking torque about C is equal to 0. Only numbers I am writing. So torque about C, about this point I am taking torque. Okay, you can take at this point, you will get the answer. No need to take how I am following here. You can take torque at any point is 0. Torque at any point is 0. Now let me take torque about this point is 0. Okay, if net external torque is 0, then the rod is said to be what? It is in rotational equilibrium. Now let us take torque about C is 0. So here at C 20 Newton is acting. Is this 20 Newton will create a torque at C? Is that 20 Newton create any torque at C? It does not create. It is hinge. Like if you apply a force at the hinge, then there is no torque. So 20 Newton does not create any torque. Forget it, this one. Coming to the 30 Newton. Yes, 30 Newton will create a torque at C. Tell me the direction. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. 30 Newton will create a torque like this. What is this? Clockwise. Arrow tip edge right side. Negative. Clockwise. 30 Newton will create a torque about C. Coming to this F anyhow 10. This will create a torque in this direction. Observe carefully. Arrow tip left. C is left side, positive. I think you remembered. Due to this, about C, anti-clockwise. Due to this, due to this, this is R, 20 centimeter, downside, inside, into the board. Into the board means clockwise. Clockwise nothing but negative. Now taking the torque about C is 0. 20 Newton does not create any torque. 30. So 30 Newton will create a torque. So minus 30. Why I am writing minus 30? Why I am writing minus 30? Clockwise. Clockwise negative. 30 into 20. And F I am writing place. Why I am writing place? Anti-clockwise. F into how much the distance? Fx is equal to 0. Fx is equals to 0. What is the perpendicular distance? X. From where? From C. So Fx is equals to 30 into 20. What is F? 10. 10x. 10x, 30, 20. Then how much x? 60 centimeter. So x is how much? From C, if you apply 10 Newton force at a distance of 60 centimeter from C, then this rod is said to be in mechanical equilibrium. From end A, how much? Tell me. From end A, 10 Newton will be applied. 10 Newton is applied at 70 centimeters. See, from here to here how much? 60, and here to here 10. From end A, how much you have to apply? Means at what distance 10 Newton you have to apply? 70 centimeter. So if they ask the answer, if they expect the answer from end A, tell me at what distance from end A 10 Newton force is applied? At a distance of 70 centimeter, 70 centimeter, 10 Newton force is applied. Then the rod is said to be in rotational equilibrium. Okay, from C 60. Okay, from C 60, and from this midpoint you tell this is 20, this is 40. Okay, 40 means you would draw little more. Okay, take little more. This is not a problem. Okay. Yeah. So the answer is this rod is said to be in mechanical equilibrium if we apply 10 Newton force. If we apply 10 Newton force at a distance of 70 centimeter from A or 60 centimeter from C. So this is the method. See, I am using translational equilibrium concept, rotational equilibrium, so that the rod is said to be in mechanical equilibrium. So practice these type of questions and apply the same concept for your NCERT problems and some other also. Okay. Some next ladder will come, some ladder questions. We will see all the things based on situation. I will give you one more question. Yeah. Try to understand the theme, means how I am solving. Okay, feel the problem, then it is easy. I will give you one more question in this session now. Okay, let me take the question. A uniform rod of length a uniform rod of length L, mass M is hanged from two strings of equal length as shown in figure, from a ceiling as shown in figure, from a ceiling as shown in figure. Determine tension in the string. Tension in the strings. I am going to draw the diagram. Yeah, they given this. A uniform rod of length L, mass M, that is hanged from a two strings whose lengths are same of equal lengths from a ceiling as shown in figure. Then determine the tension in the strings. Target is to find out how much the tension is developed here. What is the tension in this string? I think you know tension, nothing but a stretching force. It is always acts away from the body with respect to that body. Tension always acts away from the body with respect to that body. Let us find the tension here. Let us suppose this is something wire A, this is wire B, identical, but tensions are different. Okay, if it is there at the end, the tension will be same, but tensions are different right now. Here the tension in the string is something TA, here the tension in the string is TB. Weight of this rod will act downwards. And see, this is L by 4, and from here to here how much now? 3L by 4. Total is L. Total is L. M is mass. L by 4, 3L by 4. Now the target is to find out tension in the string. Use the same concept like a mechanical equilibrium. So first you take translational equilibrium condition. You will get one equation. Next you take rotational equilibrium condition. You will get another equation. Solve the two equations, you will get the answer. Follow the same concept for other questions also. First, let us take the condition for translational equilibrium. For the rod to be translational equilibrium, for translational equilibrium, upward force is balanced by downward force, otherwise net force is 0. What is the net force? Upward is TA, TB, downward is minus mg, net force is 0. So net force is 0 means TA plus TB minus mg is equal to 0. That means TA plus TB is equal to what? Mg. Take this is equation number 1. I got one equation by using translational equilibrium condition. Now let us take the torque. Torque you can take at any point. Okay. So let us take this is something A and this is B. Take the torque about any point A or B or about mg, your wish. About if it is a center C, you can take torque about C or you can take torque about A, about B. If I take torque about C, again of course we can get the answer. You can take torque about A or C or B, your wish. Let me take for rotational equilibrium, taking torque about A is equal to 0. Now I am taking torque about this point is 0. You try by taking torque about C, you try by taking torque about B, you will get the same answer. So no need to worry. So torque about A is 0. If I take torque about A, then this tension does not create any torque about A because it is acting at that point, hinge. So this is not affected. Only this will create some torque about A, this will create some torque about A. And due to this, torque is, see, this is R. How much this one? L by 2. R and downside. What is the torque because of this mg? Torque nothing but force into distance. Force is mg, distance is L by 2. And tell me, is it negative or positive? Inward or outward? Clockwise, negative. Now taking torque about A, so let me write minus mg into L by 2. Why I written minus? Due to this torque is clockwise, so minus mg. Coming to TB, see, place the hand like this. TB is acting up. Okay, you place your hand in this manner such that this will gives R, and which side the fingers are moving, that is F. Thumb represents direction of torque, nothing but direction of torque, outward. Outward means positive. So TB, at what distance TB will be there? TB is at a distance of 3L by 4, 0. Then TB 3L by 4 is equals to MGL by 2. L gets cancelled. 2, this is 2 the tension in string B, I got it as 2mg by 3. So I got the tension in the second string. Of course they are identical, but because of the load attached, tension is different. So how much I got it now? Tension in string B 2mg by 3. Okay. So substitute this second equation in 1. Substitute equation 2 in equation 1. What is 1? TA plus TB is equals to mg. TA, target. Okay. So TA plus 2mg by 3 is mg. TA is equals to mg minus 2mg by 3. So TA is mg by 3. 3mg minus 2mg, mg by 3. So one answer is mg by 3, another answer is 2mg by 3. So mg by 3, 2mg by 3. So use the same method to solve some other problems. Okay. So use translational equilibrium condition, you will get one equation, and rotational equilibrium condition, you will get another equation, and solve those two equations, we will get the required answer. Okay, the same way they will give a meter stick. This problem is given in NCERT. A meter stick, some loads are attached at the top, then they are asking at what distance the load is, another load is attached. Just you see the NCERT, some same models are there. So otherwise I will continue in the next sessions. Okay. See, up to now I covered equilibrium of a rigid body. Today the main concept is equilibrium of a rigid body. There are two conditions, translational equilibrium, other one is rotational equilibrium. Condition for translational equilibrium very clear. Net force acting on the body is 0, then the rigid body is said to be in translational equilibrium. And if net torque is acting on the rigid body is 0, then the rigid body is said to be in rotational equilibrium. Okay. So please go through the NCERT, you will understand everything clearly. Okay. Thank you.